that up a little bit. Where the heck is my sound? There it is. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Spokane Steve here with another Strat-O-Matic baseball game. 1966 full season replay, of course. And a happy Thursday to one and all. Today we've got the Orioles at the Yankees, the fourth game of a four-game series. The Orioles looking for the sweep. Yankees trying to salvage one. In fact, the Baltimore Orioles come in with a 7-game winning streak. Now sitting with easily the best record in baseball at 47-20. They're in first place. And the Yankees at 22-41 are in last place. I meant to pull this up before. The lead, I knew it this morning. The Orioles' lead over the second place Twins is now 7.5 games. So it looks like our only race is going to be in the National League, where the Dodgers have a 4.5 game lead over the Pirates, 6 over the Phillies, 7 over the Astros. So the fourth place team in the National League is closer to first place than the second place team in the American League is to the Orioles, to put it another way. Jim Palmer, the right-hander for Baltimore, and Al Downing, the lefty for the Yankees. And hello to Jim and Ernest. Hello there. Welcome in, gentlemen. Having another eye day. I can't get the lighting right for some reason. It was going so well there for a while. That's for reading the chat, of course. I can see the cards fine. It's kind of a tricky balance. I have to get the light on the cards well enough to read the cards. At the same time, it kind of conflicts with the backlight on the screen when I'm trying to read the chat. There's Franklin. No, I didn't think you would miss this one. And unmitigated. Let's look at the stats for our starting pitchers. First of all, Jim Palmer, 9-3. 4.23 ERA, 13 starts, 2 complete games, 96 innings of work, just 71 hits allowed, 74 strikeouts. For Palmer, the problem has been the base on balls. He's issued 55 walks. So his peripheral numbers running pretty true to his real life numbers. For Al Downing, 3-5, ERA of 4 on the button, 11 starts, 2 complete games, including a shutout, 74 1/3 innings, 67 hits allowed, 59 strikeouts. And Downing's issued a few walks as well, 27. Let's get the lineup for the Orioles. We'll update you on the umpires for today's game. And we'll get started. Baltimore has Luis Aparicio leading off at short. A little different look for the Orioles as Boog Powell moves up to the 2 spot at first base. Frank Robinson in right field hits third. Brooks Robinson at third base in the cleanup spot. Sam Bowens gets the start in left field against the left-handed Downing. Davey Johnson at second, Paul Blair in center field, Andy Etchebarren the catcher, and Palmer the pitcher. One of those rare pitchers who's a one-pitcher's hitting card, but with N power. In fact, we just had one of those yesterday or the day before. Our old buddy Nestor Shylock will call the balls and strikes today with Cal Drummond at first, Hank Sowar at second, and Bill Valentine at third. And with that blurry vision at all, is this up as much as it can be? That could be part of the problem. Your Schaefer beer batter today will be Sam Bowens. When Sam fans, crack open your cans. I like that. That's catchy. What else is going on with me before we play ball? Tomorrow I get my windshield replaced. I got a rock chip and it turned into a huge crack. Of course, zero out of pocket. For some reason, and I love it, for some reason insurance companies do not hold windshield repair against your deductible. My niece's 25th birthday is tomorrow. And that's about all I got, so let's play ball. Downing ready to go to work. Aparicio, the leadoff man, steps up to the plate. He carries a .242 average into today's play with 2 homers and 31 RBIs. Downing into the windup now. That's a 1-7 left-handed. Grounder to shortstop. Into the hole is Boyer. Plants and throws in time. So Aparicio grounds out to his opposite number. 1 away. And here's the boog. Let me scroll down. Let's try that again. The Al Downing is not the Georgia slop in the early. I'm not familiar with that one, Ernest. Let me play with my lighting patterns here. Okay, that's more like it. For some reason, my eyes like the warm light today. Nice. Here's Powell now. Powell leads the club in batting, .327 average for Boog, 17 home runs and 46 RBIs. Place him among the league leaders in all 3 Triple Crown categories. I think so anyway. Okay, hang on. Don't hold me to that. What is wrong with this computer today? I had the same problem earlier trying to pull up the stats. Earlier. So now what, am I froze? Wow, that is sluggish. Powell second in the league in batting average. .17 home runs, tied with Willie Horton for third, and he is 3, 4, 5. He's 6th in the league in runs batted in. And enter Ben. Ben had to pick up a grinder, a coffee grinder. Hello, Bob. And yes, another great crowd on hand today. Thank you so much. And we're inching closer to 600 subscribers. So thank you one and all for that. Never would have dreamed that possible when I started doing this. Oh, a sandwich, a grinder. Gotcha. Okay. Durr. Lefty-lefty matchup for Downing. Here's comes the offering to Powell on a 3-3. He lifts a high fly ball to deep right. Backing up is Maris on the track, pulls it in. So Boog gave it a ride. The ballpark somehow held it. Wind blowing in, perhaps. And with 2 down, here's Frank Robinson. Frank's position in the Triple Crown stats, well, his average has dropped to .289. 21 home runs and 52 RBIs, however. The 21 home runs, of course, leads the American League, and the 52 RBI is second to Harmon Killebrew. 289 average does crack the league leaders in batting average, but he's quite a ways down the list. Downing into the windup, 6'12 righty. Pitcher's card X, Downing a 421. Hold your breath on this one. That's an 18, and he can't get it. That's a single off of Downing. So, Big Frank Robinson with a 2-out single. Let's check the battery. Downing with an excellent hold, -4. So, Frank Robinson, no threat to steal. And here's Brooks Robinson. That sounds really good, Ben. And Barbara's here again. Hello, Barbara. Mostly subs here in the West, although I'm familiar with Hoagie. Brooks Robinson hitting .287, 8 home runs, 50 RBIs. 50 RBIs, second on the ball club. Robinson a modest lead from first. Downing out of the stretch now. It's a 3-5, and it's just outside ball 4. A 2-out walk to Brooks Robinson. So with the Robinsons aboard, the beer batter, Sam Bowens, will step up to the plate. Bowens hasn't played much, and he's only 8 for 70, a 114 average. He does have 1 home run. Downing into the windup. Here's the pitch to Bowen. 5-2. Lifts it the other way to right field. Maris will take it, and that will retire the side. No runs to hit, a pair left. So after half an inning, it's Baltimore 0. New York coming to bat against Jim Palmer. What part of the country do you hail from, Barbara? Of course, here we have Subway, which speaks for itself. Jersey Mike's. What's the other one that advertises a lot? Big John's? No. The one with the... Oh man, I hate it when I can't think of things. It's the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, the one who plays the brother. He does the commercials. We have Quiznos too, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. I can't think of it. Thank you, Ben. Jimmy John's. That's it. Oh my goodness, I couldn't think of it. And those are the big ones. Although I find that the non-chains, the little mom and pop places, generally have the better sandwiches. Man, there were a couple of nice ones down in California. I don't know where to find that in Spokane. We're pretty much overrun by the chains. Like most places, I guess. Yankees have Tom Tresh leading off at third base. I know I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. Due to not having a shortstop, the Yankees were forced to play Tresh, who's a 1 in left, a 2 in center, which would have made him a 2 in right, at third base. And Boyer, a 1/3 baseman at shortstop. Bobby Richardson at second base, Mickey Mantle in the 3-spotted center field, Joe Pepitone, the cleanup man, and swinging a hot bat. Pepitone with 6 home runs in the last 10 days. He bats cleanup. Roger Maris is in right field. Elston Howard, the catcher. Roy White in left. Boyer, the shortstop. Again, there's his defensive ratings. And Downing, of course, batting ninth. Hello there, Al, and welcome in. Jimmy's John. That's good. Yankees come to bat. Just getting started here. Tresh on the season, hitting just .219, but he leads the ball club in home runs with 14 and has 36 RBIs. Switch hitter hitting left-handed against Palmer. Palmer, fastball 2-5, inside ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to Tresh. Palmer with a poor hold, +4, Echeverria a 0, so 17 for Tresh. He's not a star stealer, but they're going to have to hold him on at 15. Yankees starred for runs are going to roll for the lead. 5 or 6, he's out on 11. 6, he got it. 1-15, there goes Tresh. Echeverria's throw, he's caught like a thief in the night. So Tresh gunned down attempting to steal. Here's the next pitch to Richardson. 2-10 right-handed, pop up right side. Davy Johnson will take it. And there's 2 away. I may have missed Barbara, born and raised in Brooklyn, now in Pennsylvania. And you call them subs. That's why I was curious. Here's Mantle with 2 down. Mickey Mantle on the season, a .251 average, 8 home runs, 25 RBIs, batting left-handed. The pitch from Jim Palmer is a 3-5. He lines that one into right for a 2-out single. Mantle, 17 not held. And they're not going to hold him. Only a 4 for the lead and a 12 automatic out. Orioles basically saying, go for it, Mick. You saw what happened to Tresh. As Ben says, thank you for playing, Tom Tresh. Pepitone, 316 over the last 10 days, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs. On the season as a whole, 271, a dozen homers, and a team-leading 41 RBIs. Palmer now with the windup. The pitch is a 6'9 lefty. High fly ball to deep right field. Robinson backing up at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for extra bases. Mantle rounding third. 12, 14 plus 1, 15. They're sending him. Throw is cut off. Johnson fires to the plate on the relay, and he is out at the plate. Close play at the plate. But he is out. Robinson to Davy Johnson to Echeverria. And the Yankees run themselves out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. And just like that, we're scoreless after an inning. I'm not surprised, Ben. Ben points out that the 58 replay he's doing not as big stealing here. I would suspect that the 50s as a whole were not big base stealing years. The decade of small bandbox ballparks and a lot of home runs. Second inning, Downing ready to go to work. Davy Johnson will lead it off for Baltimore. Johnson at 270, 3 home runs, 37 RBIs. Downing with the windup on the pitch. That is a 3-12 lefty. Line drive right into the glove of Tresh. So Johnson smokes it down the line, but Tresh stabs it for the out. And with 1 down, here's Paul Blair. Blair hitting .252, 1 home run, 29 RBIs. Downing into the windup. That's going to be a 3-8 left-handed. Rolls it over to short, fielded there by Boyer. And there's 2 down. Routine grounder to short, and here's Andy Etchebarren. Andy hitting .269, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. Downing gets the sign, comes in there with a 5-5 righty. Grounder to shortstop X, that's into the hole for Boyer. Tough play, 319. Here's the roll on it on an 18. He's there, plants and throws from the hole in time. Nice play by Boyer. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gentleman Al Downing, always a favorite of mine. Also at the top of the page, we find Maris under who's cold. Maris in the last 10 days, just 3 for 32, an .094 average. Hey there, Steniken. A new name in the chat, I think. Welcome. Glad to have you. Great group here. If you've watched before or you've been a lurker perhaps, as is often the case. That's right. Go ahead and shout them out when you know them. That, of course, would be Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny. Jim Palmer ready to go to work in the second. The ice-cold Maris steps to the plate. We've seen what he's done in the last 10 days. His season as a whole, just a 185 average, 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. Palmer with the pitch. That's going to be a 3-12 right-handed. He grounds it to shortstop. Routine for Aparicio. Wings across the infield for the out. That'll bring up the catcher, Elston Howard. Howard batting .242, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs. Palmer with the windup and the pitch. That's a 3-8 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Palmer. Down goes Elston Howard, and with 2 down, Roy White will be the batter. Switch hitter hitting left-handed. White on the year, .253, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. Palmer into the windup. 4-3 left-handed. Fly ball to right center, right field X. Tough chance for Robinson. He's on his horse. 2E5. Here's the play on a 14. He makes a fine running catch, and the side is retired. Nice running catch in right by Frank Robinson. 1-2-3 go the Yankees in the second. The differences in runs scored between these two teams, of course, is striking. The Orioles come in with 365 runs scored compared to 251 for the Yankees. If you want to do an ERA comparison, similar story. The Orioles 3.60 as a team, the Yankees 4.32. Third inning, Jim Palmer will start it off. He's a 1 righty with end power. Downing's pitch on a 3-4. Comebacker, Downing has it. Flips it over to Pepitone for the out. Here's Aparicio now. Grounded to short his first time up. The pitch for Al Downing is a 3-10 left-handed. Rips one down the line, backhanded by Tresh. Strong throw across in time. Two down for the Boog. Boog hit a deep fly ball to right field that somehow stayed in the ballpark in the first inning. Downing with the windup. Breaking ball, 6-6 lefty. That's ripped into right center. Double to 8. Rounding and headed for second is Powell, and he's in there with a 2-base hit. A 2-out double for Boog Powell. Powell again displaying that surprising speed. Frank Robinson. Right? I had the same feeling, Franklin, this morning when I was writing in the score sheet. 9-3, though, so he's been carried by his offense, I guess. Or to put it another way, with Baltimore's offense, you can win with a 4.2 ERA. Downing with the pitch to Frank. Here it is. That's going to be a 3-8 left-handed. Fly ball to center. Fairly deep. Mantle going back now. He's there. And he puts it away to retire the side. No runs, a hit, one left. What was Palmer's real ERA that year? 3.46. So Palmer underachieving his card by a little bit there. And we go to the bottom of the third. Of course, the best starting card on the team is Barber, the guy you have no confidence in, Franklin. Yeah, the three disengagement, and the slightly larger bases have pumped it up a bit. I can tell you from my keeper leagues, guys are running again, which a couple of years ago, hardly at all. It's nice to have that back. Clayton Boyer leads off the bottom of the third. Boyer with 257 average, 6 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Palmer gets the sign from Echeverria. Here's the pitch on a 3-11. He rolls it to short. Aparicio gobbles it up and throws him out. Downing, a right-handed batter. On a 2-9, grounds it to first base. Powell has it. Flips to Palmer covering. In plenty of time to beat Downing to the bag, and there's 2 down. Here's Tresh once again. Tresh walked in the first but was thrown out attempting to steal. Palmer gets the sign. The pitch is a 1-5 righty. Grounds it to second base. Davy Johnson. Sidearm flip to Powell, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Palmer. So Palmer settled down nicely after giving up a couple of hits and a walk in the first inning. He's now retired 6 in a row. And we move to the 4th inning. In case you missed the start of the game, Yankees going for a 4-game sweep here in New York, and they've won 7 straight. Brooks Robinson will lead it off. He walked in the first. Downing into the windup. 4-4, grounded to third base X. Tough chance for Tresh. Tresh is a 323 to his left. Trying to plug up that hole. E-range, 4 on a 23. That is going to be an error on Tresh. Off of his glove for an error. First error of the ball game. And Brooks Robinson reaches. Here's the beer batter, Sam Bowens now. He flew to right in the first. Yeah, what did I say? Did I say it backwards, man? Orioles looking for the sweep. Yanks trying to salvage one. Runner on first. I very well may have. Wouldn't surprise me any. But yes, as Ben pointed out, you can see it right there. Baltimore's won 7 straight. New York lost 3 in this series. 3 wins for the Orioles, none for the Yankees. Real life score off to the left there. Downing out of the stretch now. The pitch to Bowens is a 1-4. Hard smash to third. Tresh to Richardson for 1. Nice turn to Pepitone. Double play. The 5-4-3 twin killing and 2 out, nobody on for Davy Johnson. Downing gets his sign now. The windup and the pitch is a 5-6. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Al Downing. And that'll do it for the Orioles in the 4th. So both pitchers on their game today. We have a scoreless duel going to the bottom of the 4th. Very true, Franklin. And I don't know, I would say that the steroid era killed it. You get into the 90s and it's all long ball. And then the analytics era kicked in and simply reinforced that thinking. It's Richardson, Mantle, and Pepitone for New York. Richardson 0 for 1. Palmer into the windup now. That's going to be a 4-5 righty. Grounder shortstop X. That's the Gold Glover Aparicio. 118 into the hole. On an 11 error range. It's a 3 on an 18. This could be trouble. And his throw pulls Powell off the bag. And that's going to be an error on Aparicio. I'm trying to get my stats back. Oh, hell, I'm just going to open the game. I was going to see how many errors is that for Aparicio. Does it show? It doesn't show it here. Well, that's odd. I can't get to the other stat. The other stats. So Richardson aboard, 17 not held. They're going to have to hold him at 15. Palmer's hold is problematic for Baltimore today. Richardson, however, with the 9 automatic caught. They're going to let Mantle swing away. Mantle with a single in the first. Palmer from the stretch now. Here's the pitch. That's a 3-11 righty. Base hit into right field for Mantle. Richardson rounding second. 14, 16, +1. They're sending him to third, and the Orioles will cut it off and keep Mantle at first. So the Yankees have something going in the bottom of the 4th with runners at the corners and nobody out. And their big bat and their hot bat, Joe Pepitone, stepping to the plate. Pepitone doubled his first time up. Let's see how the Orioles want to play it. The Orioles with a big-time offense. They're going to play back. They'll trade the run for 2 outs. Meeting on the mound with Etchebarren. Telling Palmer to keep the ball down and try to get a ground ball here. Okay, here's the pitch to Pepitone. It's a 3-6 righty. Liner to first, single to 5. That's going to be caught by Powell. Back to the bag just in time is Mantle. So a line drive to Powell. That's a big out for Palmer. And with 1 out, here's Roger Maris. If you wonder what I'm doing, most of you know, but I'm looking for ground ball A's. 6, 8, 9, 10. Not many. Not many. On the other hand, the Orioles can score a lot. They'll pull the infield in for Maris. Palmer set now from the stretch. 5-6 left-handed. Ground ball to second. Oh, that's going to take away the double play. With the infield in, Johnson's play is to first. Runner at third has to hold. And Mantle moves to second. Should have gone with my gut there. My gut said leave the infield back, but I was trying to play it correctly. Hey, Bill, I have me a quick trivia from Bill here. And we'll take a pause for that here, and after we complete the bottom of the fourth. Second and third for Howard, Roy White on deck. Palmer with the windup and the pitch. That's a 5-4 right-handed. Grounder to third base X. That is Brooks Robinson, 1E13. And here's the play on a 20. Brooks has it. Throws him out. Nice play by Robinson to end the inning. So the Yankees, first and third, nobody out, failed to score. And we're scoreless after 4. And here's the question. Look hard at today's starting lineup. Most AL MVP votes in the 1960s was... I'm with Franklin. I would say Brooks. Bill says not Frank. And it is Brooks. We move to the fifth in a scoreless duel. Bottom third due up for the Orioles. Paul Blair will start it off. Al Downing gets the sign from Howard. Now here's the windup and the pitch to Blair. It's a 3-5 lefty. Hard smash to third. Backhanded by Tresh. Throws across in time. Here's Echeverren. Grounder to short in the second inning. The pitch from Al Downing is a 6-4 right-handed. High pop fly to shallow center. Mantle coming on in a hurry, and he's there to make the catch. 2 down for Palmer. 3-8 struck him out. So 1-2-3 inning for gentleman Al Downing. So far, Al Downing has held the mighty Baltimore offense at bay. And we go to the bottom of the inning. Game still scoreless. Now we're trying to figure out who it was in the National League. So kind of a trick question, Bill. Overall in the majors, it was Frank Robinson who played in both leagues. Bottom third for the Yankees as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Roy White, 0 for 1, will start it off. Palmer's wind up and pitch to the left-hander is a 4-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Palmer, and the batter will be Clete Boyer. Palmer gets his sign. The pitch is a 2-8 righty. Pop up left side. Aparicio waving his arms. He's got it. 2 quick outs for Palmer, and the batter is Downing. Downing throws left, bats right. 4-8, swung on and missed. Strike 3. The bookend strikeouts for Palmer. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees in the 5th. And what a duel we have here today. Scoreless through 5. 2 fine pitchers on the mound today. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. This coffee just not tasting right to me today for some reason. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's okay. Just a little off. I think I put too many. I put too much in the filter. It's a little muddy. Sixth inning, top of the order for Baltimore. Oh, excuse me. Downing gets the sign. The pitch to Aparicio is a 3-8 left-handed. That is lined up the middle and into center field for a leadoff single. Now we'll check the battery again. -4. Aparicio 13, but he's a star stealer. In a scoreless game, they're going to hold him on at 11. And up steps Boog Powell, who doubled his last time up. Powell 1 for 2. Downing working from the stretch now. Breaking ball, 6-4 lefty. High pop fly to shallow right. On comes Maris. Waiting on it now. And makes the catch. That was a major league pop-up right there. Frank Robinson, the batter. Brooks on deck. Frank 1 for 2 today. Downing out of the stretch. The pitch is a 3-8 left-handed. Fly ball to straightaway center. Mantle ranging to his right. He's got it. Two down for Brooks. Aparicio still being held at first base, taking his lead. Downing a glance over there. Comes to the plate, 6-8 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that will do it. So the Orioles leave a man in the 6th. That's 3 strikeouts now for Downing. And we are still scoreless. Both starters rated 7 for endurance today. Bottom of the 6th, top of the order for New York. Tom Tresh stands in 0 for 1 with a walk. Palmer with the windup. Here's the pitch to Tresh. It's a 5-9 left-handed. He lifts it to straightaway right. Frank Robinson is there and makes the catch for out number 1. The batter will be Bobby Richardson. Palmer gets his sign. The pitch is a 3-9 righty, ripped into left center for a base hit, triple to 4. Headed for third is Richardson. The throw, he's in there with a triple. Holy cow. He rolls the 1 on a triple 1-4. And the Yankees threatening to break through against Palmer here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-out runner at third. Infield will definitely be in now as we get later in the game. And Mickey Mantle is the hitter. The Mick 2 for 2. The young Palmer, a glance at third, the full windup, the pitch to Mantle on a 6-5, swung on and missed strike 3. Huge strikeout there for Palmer. And on the day now, that is 4 strikeouts for Palmer. 2 down for Pepitone. With the ice-cold Maris on deck, Echeverrien's going to hold up 4 wide ones, and they'll put Pepitone aboard. So the rare, or the fairly rare anyway, intentional walk. I'm not a big fan of the intentional walk. Talking about the gap between left and center, the gap between Pepitone and Maris right now is a canyon. Maris in the midst of a horrid slump, 0 for 2 today. Palmer into the windup. 111 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep right. Frank Robinson back on the track, just shy of the wall, makes the catch to end the inning. Oh my! Deep fly ball to right. Caught by Frank Robinson, and the Yankees strand a pair. So the Yankees fail to capitalize with a runner at third and less than 2 out, and we're still scoreless through 6 innings. Endurance inning, first endurance inning for both pitchers as we go to the 7th. Mookie in the catbird seat as usual. Leading off will be the beer batter, Sam Bowens. Wow, now I'm getting a little nervous, as I tend to do when these games get into the late innings scoreless like this, or even 1-0. Really have to be aware not to make any stupid managing mistakes at this point. I mean, you kind of want to do that all the time, but it seems like I'm really more aware of it in a game like this. Just one roll can be the difference. Bowens 0 for 2 today, Downing into the windup. That's a 3-3 lefty, and Bowens, hard ground ball left side and through into left field for a leadoff single. How about that for a beer batter? Bowens with good speed. -4 batteries of 14. He'll be held on at 12, and Davy Johnson, the hitter. Downing out of the stretch, pitching to Johnson. Pitch is a 5-8 righty. Fly ball to center field, fairly deep. Mantle backs up a few steps and makes the catch. Here's Paul Blair now. Blair 0 for 2. Downing gets the sign. A glance at first. Comes to the plate. 6-3 righty. High fly ball to deep left field. Going back is White at the track, at the wall. Leaps up at the top of the wall. And did he get it? He did. He caught it. Oh my goodness. Blair just misses. Again, you talk about one roll of the dice. The roll, 6-3, homer to 12. Blair has the power against lefties. Not so against righties, but he does against lefties. But on the 13, just did stay in the park. It'll be up to Echeverrien. The pitch from Downing from the stretch. 2-10 lefty. Routine grounder to second, scooped up by Bobby Richardson. He goes the short way to Boyer for the force. No, that isn't right. Anyway, it's a ground out. He goes to Pepitone for the out. Not that it matters, but still. I don't know why I was thinking ground ball B there for a second. We are scoreless going to the stretch. Wow, what a game. Well, it was billed as a pitching matchup, and it certainly lived up to that and then some. And now, let's take a look at the star of our show, Mookie. Mookie, are you alive? Not much out of Mookie there. Oh. What in the world is this supposed to be? It doesn't even look comfortable, Luke. Hey. Hey, buddy. It says, leave me alone. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Show your face, at least. Well, we're not getting much out of Mookie today. Well, that worked. Because he thought it was from outside. Earlier today, he was just sitting down here at the base of the slider, just staring outside. I came over to join him, and try as I might, I couldn't see a damn thing. Let's go, rookie. Big Rook, they used to call him. That reminds me of a kid that was a box boy back in '89. His name was Brooke. For some reason, he got the nickname Big Rook. Back to this one. What a game. Scoreless to the bottom of the seventh. It'll be Howard, White, and Boyer, Palmer's first endurance inning. Howard 0 for 2. Struck out in the second, grounded to third in the fourth. Palmer gets the sign from Echeverria now. Here's the pitch on a 5-5 right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right field. Frank Robinson had him played perfectly. And he makes the play for the first out. Here's Roy White now 0 for 2. The pitch from Jim Palmer. 3-6 right-handed. Grounder down to first. Powell has it. It's a race to the bag. And Powell steps on it in time. 2 down for Boyer. The pitch from Jim Palmer. 5-5 right-handed. He lifts it to right field. Robinson ranging to his right. And it's a 1-2-3 inning from Palmer, and we are scoreless through 7 complete. Now what do we do? Both pitchers will lead off the 8th inning for their team in a scoreless game. This is extremely difficult for me. I would definitely like some help here. The book, of course, would say pinch hit. I am loath to remove pitchers pitching a shutout. Leave them both. Seems to be almost unanimous. Well, we got a lot of people of the same mind as I am. Another way to look at it is the outcome of the game doesn't matter that much, really, does it? Let's let these boys pitch. So Palmer will bat to lead off the eighth. Downing into the windup. 4-8, and he walks Downing. How about that? All that debate about a pinch hitter, and Palmer draws the leadoff walk. Downing furious with himself. That's going to get him stirring in the Yankee pen. The right-hander Pedro Ramos throwing. Aparicio the hitter. Aparicio, one of 4 Baltimore hits off of Downing. Downing out of the stretch. 2-4, right, it's a tweener. Lazy fly ball to left. White is there to make the play. And up steps Powell. Powell 1 for 3. Palmer very close to the bag at first. Downing a glance over there. Now comes to the plate. 5-5 lefty. Grounder to short X. This could be 2. That's a 319 Boyer. Boyer ranging to his left. On a 3, he's not going to get it. He knocks it down but has no play. That's going to be an infield single for Powell, with Palmer stopping at second. And now one more hitter walk will fatigue Al Downing. Out to the mound goes Elston Howard. First and second, 1 down. Frank Robinson at the plate, 1 for 3. Well, the Orioles have the right guys up there, the Robinsons. Brooks on deck. Downing a glance at second. The full windup, the pitch, and it's a leaner. That's going to be a re-roll. As Frank fouls it back. Perhaps a break for Downing. Here comes the next pitch. 4-7 right-handed. Grounder down to third. Single to 2. That's going to be fielded by Tresh. He goes to Richardson for the Forrest to first, not in time. Palmer takes third on the play. Runners on the corners now, 2 away, and Brooks Robinson. Crowd on its feet now. Downing from the stretch. 2-6 lefty. Hard smash to third. Tresh goes the short way to Richardson. And Downing pitches out of the jam. No runs a hit, 2 left for the Orioles. And Downing, who was very close to getting knocked out of the game, escapes unscathed. And because of that, he will bat. It's only right? Right-handed hitter. 6'3" righty. Fight a left field X. That's going to be Bowens. Bowens a 2E14 on his horse now. Here's the play on an 18. He makes a nice running catch to make the out. Nice play by Bowens in left field. Here's Tresh now. Tresh 0 for 2 with a walk. Dice are cold today. Warming them up. Palmer's pitch to Tresh. 4-9 left-handed. Just outside ball 4. Tresh walks for the second time. 13-17. Held on at 15. In a scoreless game, he's going to roll for it. He's out on an 11. He needs a 5 or a 6. 2. He doesn't get it. And here's the next pitch to Bobby Richardson. Fastball, 3-6 righty. Base it into right field. Tresh, 14, 16, 17, digging for third, and they'll cut it off. And now Palmer in the same situation as Downing was in the top of the inning. One more hitter walk will fatigue him as Mickey Mantle comes to the plate. Action in the Baltimore pen. Stu Miller, the right-hander. Bill Short, the left-hander. Yankees threatening in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Mickey Mantle at the plate. Mantle is 2 for 3 today. Home plate umpire Nestor Shylock breaking up the mound meeting. Palmer, a glance at first. From the stretch now, the pitch to Mickey. 1-8 right-handed. Liner to second, single to 11. That's going to be speared by Davey Johnson. Oh my goodness, that was headed for the outfield. And Johnson leaps up and makes the catch. Palmer finds himself again in the same situation as Downing was in the top of the inning. Pepitone, 1 for 2, was walked intentionally his last time up. Palmer studying the signs. Comes to the plate, 3-3 righty. Grounder down to first base. Boog Powell has it, throws to Palmer covering, and that'll do it. 8 scoreless innings. Oh my. You could have made a case to remove both starting pitchers. But we didn't. And they're still out there going to the 9th inning in a scoreless game. I want to thank everybody for being here for this one. Holy crap. The Yankees, of course, much less eager to get into their bullpen than the Orioles. The Yankee bullpen has had its issues this year. And the Orioles will send up Bowmans, Johnson, and Blair in the 9th inning. Bowens 1 for 3. Downing gets the sign. Here comes the pitch from Al Downing. It's a 6-5 righty. High fly ball to left. Bet White back, and off the wall for a double. That almost got out of here as well. Instead, it's a leadoff double for Sam Bowens. Now just one more hitter walk will fatigue Downing. Well, no strikeouts out of the beer batter. We did have a single and a double. Bowen's pretty good speed out there. Davy Johnson is the batter. Left-hander Steve Hamilton begins throwing. Ramos is ready. Dave Johnson 0 for 3. Downing, a glance at second. The full windup. Here's the pitch on a 2-6 lefty. Infield single, stopping at third is Bowens, but that fatigues Downing. And here comes Houck, and that's going to do it for Downing. So Downing leaves to a big hand. Right-handers due up. It's going to be Ramos. So Pedro Ramos will come on in relief of Al Downing with the game on the line. Seven hits allowed for Downing. He walked 2. Struck out just 3. Paul Blair is the hitter. Andy Etchebarren to follow. Hey there, Joel. Welcome in. Schaefer wants their advertising money back. And Richard Watts just in time with the game on the line. Ramos on the year, 0-2, 4 saves, ERA high at 5.81. Infield in. Ramos with a -3 hold, so Davy Johnson a 10 at first base, not being held. Infield in for Blair. Ramos out of the stretch. 2-4 right-handed. Grounder to short. Boyer has it. Throws to first. Let me double check this now. First and third ground ball A8. Yep. That goes 6-3. Blair to second. So the infield in prevents the run. 1 down for Etchebarren. Infield remains in. Pedro Ramos pacing around behind the mound. Now he's up on the rubber. Gets his sign. Checks the runners. The full windup. The pitch to Etchebarren. 5-5 righty. Fly ball to center. Fairly deep. Backing up his mantle. He makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Bowens. And somebody finally breaks through, and it's the Orioles here in the 9th inning. A sac fly for Etchebarren. Palmer still has the shutout, but I'm inclined to hit for him. What say you guys? Bill says now you pinch hit. I would say you hit here and bring in Stu Miller. Yep. Everyone seems to be in agreement. Bleffery. Yep, exactly. Bill, you're reading my mind. Kurt Bleffery. Houck waits for Bleffery to be announced, and now he's going to come out and pull Ramos. Hamilton is ready. So he's going to go to the lefty, Steve Hamilton. Bleffery, who handles lefties pretty well, will stay up there. Runner at second, 2 away. Hamilton with the pitch to Bluffrey. That is a 5-7 lefty. Second base X, that's the Gold Glover Richardson, 117. Here's the play on a 10. E-range, 8 on the 17. He should make that, and he does. Nice play by Richardson to end the inning. Orioles settle for 1 on 2 hits and leave 1. And it's Miller time here in New York. Miller with 14 saves on the season, 2-2, 3.72. We could, Franklin, but would you want to? Bowens is a 2 out there, and Bleffery's a 4. Stu Miller looking for his 15th save. 1-0 Orioles as we go to the bottom of the 9th. I want to thank everybody again for being here for this one. What a game. Man, this one was right up there. Roger Maris will start it off. Miller into the windup. The pitch on a 6-11 left-handed fly to right field X. Tough chance for Robinson. He's on his horse. 2E5. Yikes. Here's the play. On a 2. He can't get it. That's going to drop for a base hit. Oh, my goodness. And the drama continues. A leadoff single for Maris. That would have been a tough play for anybody. A 1 would have made it. Robinson almost got there. Maris with 14 speed, that's good enough. No threat to steal. Do they have anybody who could steal? Not really. Maris will stay out there. Maris at first. Elston Howard at the plate. Miller a throw to first. Maris back to the bag. Now comes to the plate. 2-3 righty. Grounder wide of first. Powell has it. His only play is to Miller covering. And on the play, Maris moves into scoring position. So the tying run in scoring position with 1 out and Roy White the hitter. Man, I can see this going to extra innings. Roy White 0 for 3 today. Miller taking his time now. Looks at second. The windup. The pitch to White on a 3-6 righty. Grounder to first base. Powell has it to Miller covering. And Maris over to third base. So Maris advancing a base at a time. Now standing at third, but there are 2 down. And Cleet Boyer at the plate. He could put him on. The Yankees, of course, would pinch hit. So I guess the question is, would Miller rather see Boyer? Or would he rather see Horace Clarke? They're going to pitch to Boyer. It would be Clarke, who's hitting 364 off of the bench this year and 33 at bats. Most of that is a pinch hitter. And Miller will take his chances with Boyer. Maris at third, 2 down. Here's the windup. The pitch to Boyer. 1-9 righty. Grounder to second. That's going to do it. It's Johnson to Powell, and that is the ball game. Oh, my goodness. They don't come any tighter wrapped than that. I've had packages from Costco I could open easier. Scoreless through 8. The Orioles get a run in the top of the 9th and hang on to win it. 1-0. Palmer with the win improves to 10-3. For Stu Miller, a save, his 15th of the season. Tough luck loss for Gentleman Owl, who sees his record drop to 3-6. Totals coming up. Palmer allowed 6 hits. Three walks, one of those intentional. And 4 strikeouts. Well, Dave, I'll show you. Orioles win it with a run on 7 hits, 1 error. Yankees no runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Man, it doesn't get any closer than that. Who's the player of the game? Franklin says it's the game of the year so far. It could very well be, Franklin. I was thinking the same thing. It's up there. It's definitely a nominee. Palmer could be the player of the game. Bowens could be the player of the game. Echeverren drove in the only run. Looks like it's overwhelming for Palmer, and I sure don't have a problem with that. 8 scoreless innings. We could have very well let him go for the shutout. Now I'm going to satisfy Dave Little's curiosity. So what I have here, let me back up so you can see it. I have a ring light on a desk-mounted tripod. And then the camera goes, of course, right in there. Then I have the cheap top, where I monitor the chat, and my good laptop, which has my Strat-O-Matic game on it, to help me with some of the pitching changes and pinch hitters. Schaefer disapproves of any consideration of Bowens for player of the game. Well, Bowens did not allow us to drink, so we're not going to hold that against him, are we? Well, hell yeah, we are. Hell yeah, we are. I was even going to pour myself an 805. All right, tomorrow we're going to wrap up June the 23rd. And that's going to be the Detroit Tigers at the Washington Senators. There it is right there, since I already had the camera out. Earl Wilson and Mike McCormick will be the starters. Tigers trying to right the ship. They've been underachieving a bit this year. Tigers, of course, another favorite among the chat regulars here. And that, of course, will be at the usual time, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to dig up some lunch, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank everybody for watching today. And a nail biter, as the Orioles edge the Yankees 1-0. That's all for me. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening.